Welcome to Card of the Day, where we talk about Weiss Schwarz's cards of the day. And I am pretty late in the Vivid Strike area, but I did look over some of the older cards that they showed us, and so I have a rough idea of what's happening. And some of the cards are actually pretty interesting, and if you guys want to see me do a catch-up video like I did with the Star Wars one, let me know in the comments below. I'll catch up the ones that I thought were interesting. And yeah, let's get right into this. Whoa, jump cut. So the first card we're gonna talk about is actually my favorite card in Vivid Strike. It's Better Eyes Than Anyone Vivio. She is a 3/2 red fighting Odd Eyes character. And I'm not saying it that she's my favorite character because she's an Odd Eyes character. This joke was fucking stupid. Fucking stupid joke. She's a good character, I promise. So on play, you heal. Nice. And then when you use an act ability, this card gets power plus X, where X is the number of fighting characters you control, times 500. And then she does have a climax combo, that is, when this card declares an attack with the climax Axial Smash Infinity, this card gets plus 1,500 power in the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not your turn, the opponent's next turn. When the character directly opposite of this card declares an attack, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. So let's talk about the first ability. That's nice. So the second ability, it is only when you use Axe, but with Vivid Strike, you use Axe left and right. So that really isn't that bad. And with the Climax combo, it does get a pretty neat buff, and it gives your opponent a tax that they have to pay so they could attack this card. If you have a full field of these, that's pretty hefty right there. And it's any attack. It could be a front attack or a side attack. Oh no, this card's pretty good. Up next, we got Nova Nakajima. She's a 2/1 red fighting trainer character. She does have 3 abilities. Her first ability is that she's a level assist forward times 500. The other one is that she does have a bond with Better Eyes Than Anyone Vivio, which is the card that we talked about before. And then her other ability is you rest a character and it gets plus 500 until the end of the turn. Which, wow, that's a lot. The only reason they put this ability here is because it's an act that you could use to pop off other effects. The next card we're going to talk about is Miura Rinaldi. She's a red 0/0 fighting Houseworks character, and she does have 2 abilities, and one of them is a Brainstorm on top of that. Her first ability is this ability can only be activated once per turn. When you use an act ability, choose one of your characters and it gets plus 500 until the end of the turn. And hey, this card also has an act. It's Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this card. So it is once per turn. Send the top 4 cards of your deck to the waiting room. For every climax among those cards, choose 1 fighting character from your waiting room, return it to your hand. So it is a salvage. And hey, its auto ability doesn't say that you gotta use another character's act, so you could use this Brainstorm, potentially salvage, and then you could give plus 500 to one of your characters. And it doesn't say you can't give plus 500 to this card, so that's a waste of a turn. Let's talk about Rinne. Here is taking a stance in the Heavy Rain Rinne. She's a 3/2 blue fighting lady character. And she does have a climax combo, but let's talk about this auto first, which is just on play, draw 2, ditch 1. Nah, that's out of the way. Let's talk about the climax combo. Discard 1 card from your hand to the waiting room. When this card declares an attack with the climax, a strike without ill thoughts on your climax border, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose any number of beloved Grandpa Roy Berlinetta, classmate Bully, and Skundaria from your memory, send them to your waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent, where X is a number of cards sent from your memory to the waiting room via this ability. This damage may be cancelled. I always like the faux Italian that many animes throw into their series. So here's the climax, a strike without ill thoughts. It is a blue stock soul and 2 soul when you trigger it. I think she deserved it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Vivid Strike. So here's beloved Grandpa Roy. He's a blue 1/0 character, and he's a clothes character. He does have 1 effect. It is a climax combo that is pay 1, place this card in your memory. When the climax of the Unchangeable Past is played onto your climax border, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose 1. It's fine if everything is over Rinne from your waiting room. Play it onto any border on your stage, and that character gets plus 2,000 power until the end of the turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Until the end of your opponent's next turn. Jeez, I love these effects. That's actually really cool because you really don't see those effects that end on your opponent's turn. And this is actually a pretty good buff. And this gets the Rinne card from the waiting room onto the stage where this was. I say on the stage where this was because most likely you will have a full field, and if you don't, you could just throw it wherever you want. I usually don't like these kinds of combos where you send a character from the field onto the memory, but this is actually pretty good because this instantly replaces itself by getting that one Rinne card from the waiting room. Usually you don't see those effects, so you just have a, just an open space that your opponent can attack you directly through. So here's Roy Berlinetta. He is also a close character. He's a blue 0/0. And he does have one effect that is pay 1, place the top card of your deck to your clock, place this card to memory. When this card is reversed in battle, you may pay the cost. If you do search your deck for up to one character with Rinne in its name, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is also good because it is on reverse search, so when it gets reversed, it gets sent to your memory, and it is during the battle phase. So unless your opponent has a, one of those cards that lets you restand and attack again, this is fine. So here's Skundario. It's a blue 2/1 event. It is a counter as well, and there's no icon when you trigger it. So counter, choose one of your characters with Rinne in its name, send it to your waiting room. Then return the top card of your clock to your hand, and then send this card to your... So you do compress, along with all of these cards, you do compress your deck. That is like you get cards out of your deck, like let's say your stock, your waiting room, your hand, the memory, the field, that they're out of your deck. These remove it permanently. This is actually pretty tight. You do heal and you do get a resource on top of that, but you don't choose what resource you get, and you have to get rid of one of your Rinne cards. So if your opponent reverses a Rinne card, it's still technically on the field, so you can't send that one to the waiting room with this effect. And if you're not planning on returning it back, that's fine. That's a way you could use this card. Or you could use one of your back rows that you're gonna, tribute over or something. This card's actually pretty good. Am I gonna run this combo? Probably not, because this card triggers me. So, I don't think they've shown us It's Fine If Everything Is Over Rinne yet, so I can't really show you guys that card. But those are all the cards that we had today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. And again, let me know in the comments below if you want me to cover the rest of the Vivid Strike cards that I missed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.